We were recently notified by the Mississippi Sustainable Agriculture Network, or MSAN for short, that we had been selected as one of 3 transition farms in their Rooted in Mississippi program. It's pretty exciting for us because, among other benefits, we received a $1,000 grant to be used toward a project here on the farm. We're also going to receive up to $2,000 worth of professional consulting, on-farm consulting, to help us develop a farm plan. I think I'm as excited about that as I am about the cash award. Anyway, lots of other goodies go along with being selected, and we'll be doing some videos talking about that a bit more in the future. But today I wanted to show you the first step that we're taking. The first way that we're using part of that money is we are developing a pastured egg program. Loosely based, I say loosely because we don't have the acreage that he does, on Joel Salatin's model, also used by Dustin Pinion at Beaver Dam Fresh Farms in Starkville, Mississippi, or Cedar Bluff actually. So we're using, you remember our video about the brooder box that lasts forever, that we use to brood our chicks on the deck. And also you've seen how we converted one of the stalls in the barn for the second stage of brooding once we take them out of the box. Well, let me show you how we're combining those two with our new little flock of chicks that are going to be our layers. Here are the chicks in the brooder. We've got 50 or 60 Rhode Island Reds, and we've got 16 or so black Australorps. I don't remember exactly because we've actually ordered some chicks for some friends of ours. So once then, I don't remember how many they bought, but once they get theirs out, we'll have, I think, about 50 Rhode Island Reds and about a dozen black Australorps. The reason we have that combination is that our initial laying flock will consist of the Rhode Island Reds, and of course the black Australorps too. But once the black Australorps begin to lay consistently, we're going to pull them out and start collecting eggs from them, or at some point we will, in order to incubate the next platoon of layers, so that when we introduce those back into the flock, because of the color difference, we'll be able to remember which birds are which age. And we will continue to rotate colors like that to help us, instead of having to catch them and band them and try to remember what birds are what age. That seems like a simple way to do that. So here's the brooder box that you remember from being on our deck. But there's 2 differences from when you saw it last. One is there's no top. We don't have a fence on top to protect them from predators. Why is that? That's because it's not on the deck. It's in the barn. It's in this predator-proof stall that we created last year sometime. So it's covered with chicken wire or 2x4 welded wire almost all the way around. I guess it's not completely critter-proof, but almost. The second difference that you can't really tell by looking is that the bottom is not in it. Because we're putting it out here on the ground, we did 2 things. We first spread wood shavings all over the entire stall. Then Corey assembled the brooder box sides in the middle here, under where we have the heat lamp. And then we put another bag of pine shavings inside the box. But how simple is this? When the birds are ready to expand beyond the confines of this brooder assembly, rather than have to move the birds from the deck to the barn in a box or in a series of trips, all we have to do is take the sides down and they're free to expand their territory. We thought that was a pretty good idea. Now the birds look kind of bunched up, and they are at the moment, but it's not because they're cold. It's because I'm here talking and pointing this iPhone at them. You'll see I'm getting a little more comfortable with my presence here in a moment and spread out. But anyway, in a few weeks, what we'll do is we're going to put these birds out on pasture. We're about to make an order for some electrified poultry netting. It'll be about 42 inches high, I think, and we will encircle or make a square in the pasture to cover. We're going to have 2 sections of it, which will just about cover 1/4 of an acre. and we will have a mobile or semi-mobile egg mobile, as Joel Salatin calls it. We're probably not even going to worry about putting wheels on this one. We're just going to make it on skids so that I can drag it with a tractor, and the birds will be getting a good deal of their sustenance from the pasture, eating greens and bugs and whatever other goodies they can find. And we'll train them to lay in the egg mobile, and we'll gather the eggs every day. And once a week or so, we'll move the whole contraption. From the demonstration we've seen, it should take no longer than 30 minutes to move the whole thing, fence and all. If you do the key thing is, and that is to lock the birds up in the egg mobile at night. Once they go in there to sleep, the night before we're going to move it, we'll close them up and move it while they're in there. And then the next morning we'll go open the door and they'll have access to a fresh 1/4 acre. So we'll be accomplishing two things. We'll be developing some delicious homegrown pastured eggs, and we'll also be fertilizing naturally our pasture. So I can't wait to see how our pasture responds to the natural fertilizer that these little birds will eventually add. We'll keep you posted on that and all of this.